you secured your pro card. What is one specific area of your physique on stage presence you feel needs the most pro level refinement before your debut?
Um, my yeah, I mean, overall stage presence and confidence can always improve for me, and anyone in general, probably, except for Wendy. So- she's always she's always so graceful and poised and confident. So that's something that I'm constantly working on. Other than that, in there's not too much I can do. Like, I feel like I've gotten to a certain stage with posing and things like that. There's only so much I can do in the next 3 weeks. I'm gonna try and keep perfecting things until then. 3 weeks is 3 weeks. I can do a lot, but it's getting to the point where it's like I'm not gonna change too much in this at this stage. Because otherwise I probably won't remember to do it on stage anyway.
So you're saying 3 weeks out. So what's the show you're gonna make your debut in? Because you
I'm doing the Southern California, and it's in conjunction with the Zanarota Figure Pro. So it's the Muscle Contest Southern California and Zanarota.
Oh, okay. I heard that show. I think it's very exclusively figure because I don't think there's other
Mhm.
divisions for that show. I've even talked about it on my channel. And figure is really has evolved over the years. As I said earlier, where some of the women in figure right now look like they could be doing physique. I mean, if you look also, Sydney was a standard, but now you have Rhea, who's at the top of the hill, and you have people like Lola Montez and Jessica Ray Badia. Um, as you know, the Pittsburgh Pro is this weekend, and there's some
Yes.
top competitors. It was kind of surprising. The list was not as deep like it was last year.
Yeah, I would love to do the Pittsburgh Pro, but I thought the Zanarota was more my speed for a pro debut. A single a single division show is probably good. And then I'll feel like once I get that out of the way, I definitely want to do some of those bigger shows. The Legion Sports Fest is cool. But the Rising Phoenix, an all women show with women judges, I would love to do that one. So yeah, but they are figure pro shows are very few and far between. So
Well, I say like this: compared to bodybuilding, y'all still
no,
have a
not
little bit
compared to
more.
bodybuilding, but
Y'all
yeah.
still have good stack because even though the Legion does not carry y'all division anymore,
Mm,
Arnold kicked out figure from his show. I mean Arnold, and Arnold is and it's not a tumor. I mean I was kind of like I remember when he kicked out women's bodybuilding. I was like about 13 years ago. And then it's just so few and far between opportunities for certain divisions because I think like I talk about fit model, it's a new division because it has that look to it, go through a throwback. But
yeah,
again, after a while, you're seeing women coming from all the way from the bikini division going down to fit model. And I
yeah,
think and one thing that transformed women's physique the way it is because you're seeing women from bodybuilding coming down and still bringing those aesthetics so around the captains of the shoulders, the width, the depth. It's supposed to be a more lower maintenance division where you don't have to put in that much work.
mm, yeah. And I mean, so like I'm kind of on the fence with fit model. Like, obviously, bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding and figure and everything, and women's physique, that takes incredible effort, like unbelievable effort, years and years of work to get there, and that's why it's so incredible. But I I don't mind that there's a division like that because it brings more money to the sport. So I don't like. I mean, if anybody remembers what happened in 2020, and we almost lost a lot of, like, I mean, the Olympia was in trouble and things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we don't want
And
that to happen again.
Yeah, I know. Like there was so few shows women's bodybuilding this year. Well, just saw a promoter just added women's physique to a show, the Steve Carr show, and also women's bodybuilding being added to show in Mexico. The opportunities. I think it's hard because again, it goes back to the fact that women with muscle, depending on the division, bikini, those women still look very, as they say, feminine and very aesthetically pleasing, and even the girls in wellness are. I'm looking at one girl. She looked like she could do women's bodybuilding or even physique. But again, it goes back to what is can bring attention to the sport because bodybuilding is not
Yeah.
as because you're from Australia. I have any from ladies from Australia who do bodybuilding. It's a small community, but it really has gone worldwide over the
Mhm.
years.
Well, yeah, like you said, it brings more attention to the sport, and a lot of people that would never consider joining and starting competing are now getting into bodybuilding, and just because they're starting in fit model doesn't mean they're not going to go up to like a bigger division. So that's the way I see it. I think it gives them a little doorway into the sport, gives them a little taste, and then yeah, I don't know. I think that side of it is a good thing. If the more people we can get involved in bodybuilding, the better.
I see your point, but at the same time, as I often I say this, I'm a particular type of criminal, and fit model disgusts me. I just go, you know. I've been following bodybuilding for a long time, but again, it's about bodybuilding is still a business, and the point of it, and it's also trying to get attention for, it, especially if it comes for women. One thing I talk about this is the cost of compared to the men. The guys got to wear a pair of banana hands and boy shorts. Your husband's got to wear a $50, $60 pair of banana hammocks. You got to wear suits that's going to cost you like your car note, your rent, your baby's college fund. Your show day is probably one of the biggest expense for a woman. Your husband got to put on some hair gel, slap on a tan. He's good. You got to look very presentable. You have to get your hair done, your makeup done. You have to look very good. You have
Yeah,
to.
it's a very expensive day for me. Like, if you include the suit, the hair, the makeup, at like just everything. Because I have to get my hair done first, like dyed and touched up and everything, and then also styled on the day. But I'm doing my own makeup this time. So, but Wendy usually does my makeup, my hair makeup, and she has done every single show. She's done my hair and makeup for, except for one. So, but this time she just happens to be in Tennessee. She's going to be at an expo in Tennessee. But yeah,
That's good.
it's a
We
very
have
expensive day.
Yes, best 50. I mean, it's just a presentation of to bring in a combination of femininity and muscularity. It's a tightrope you really have to walk sometimes.
Oh,
Shout to a
it's
man,
part of the judging.
yeah. Shout to a man. Red Samurai says hello, Madeline. He also says, "How are you?" She's fine.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you feel like as a competitor? What you think would take for you to get to that top level? If you feel like you really you go like a lot of competitors would be to go to Olympia. What do you feel like will be that thing that really can help you reach that level to hit that hump?
um, just I mean, more money would be good. I would definitely just keep competing all year if money wasn't a problem. Um, but I need more. It's just gonna take time. Like, uh, and I don't mind. I don't mind being patient. I know some competitors. I mean, I hope it doesn't take this long, but I know some competitors that it took them 15 years to win their first pro show. But that was women's physique. Um, but I mean, like, she just loved bodybuilding in general, so she didn't. Obviously she wanted to win, but it was pretty inspiring that she kept going after that long. And then she finally won, and she won the Rising Phoenix. I think that was like 2 years ago, I want to say. But that was one of my friends. But yeah, um, just time. That's all I can say. That's what it's going to take. Time, um, and more experience and get better in posing and yeah, just dedication. That's what it's going to take.
Yeah. It's all involved with building a great physique and also the mindset of it. Because bodybuilding can be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially draining. And then to find the time, like I said again, you have a husband, you got kids, you have a future career, and then to be dedicated is most important. And also discipline and consistency and persistence. Because you know what? Most people think with bodybuilding, I just pop some pills, I can get big and yoked. But then if you don't stay with a plan, if you don't stick with, whatever got you to the game in the first place, and with some competitors, especially I think with young competitors, they can get easily distracted. They want everything quick, fast, in a hurry. But
Yes.
it doesn't work like that. You have to take time. I've seen ladies again who have competed 20 years for to get the pro card. And they do it, and some take a step back for a minute. Say, you know what, let me take a break for a while. And I'll come
Hmm.
back and then, just rejuvenate. Because, again, it goes back to fast the cost of being a bodybuilder, especially if, as an amateur. Now you come in as a pro, a new pro, you got to start from the ground up. And you compete with ladies who competed for a long time. Some ladies who've even been to the Olympia quite a few
Hmm.
times. And I know sometimes that you and Whitney have talked about things, especially her being Olympian herself.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting to go from like, I mean, I feel like I was in a position in the amateurs where I was outgrowing the amateurs. And I got to a stage where I was winning everything that I was getting into, but, and like the four overalls and things like that. So it was time to get into the pro leagues, but at the same time, like it's quite intimidating because there's going to be ladies there that are just there to qualify for the Olympia, like, and it's nothing new to them. Like, so they're this is just one stop on the road to the Olympia, and there might be a couple that have already been to the Olympia, so it's a little intimidating, but I mean, I'm just so stoked to be getting the chance to stand next to some of these women. So it's going to be special.
Would you ever like to compete against your coach one day? You'll go mano a mano on the stage, and y'all be the last two, and saying, "Who's going to go to Olympia?" We got here
Yeah.
Madeline or Whitney. Go 1-on-1 with your coach. 1-on-1 with the great one.
I mean, there's at this stage in the game, there's no comparison. I mean, she would just demolish me. But it would be pretty cool if we got to stand next to each other on stage. I mean, I would frame that photo for sure.
Yeah, I think it's the thing is it's an experience for everybody who gets in this sport. The joy of it, to be in a place where you worked hard to get to, and to also to meet people who share your same ambition for the sport. Bodybuilding again, it's seen as a fringe sport. It's not as popular. If you're maybe the few 1% up in the top who can make a living out of it, that's good. But many ladies I've talked to say they don't do it because it's about the money. They do it because they love it. This is their passion. Some ladies told me because bodybuilding saved their life. I've talked to ladies where, they were dealing with either mental abuse, physical abuse. They were dealing with issues with food, a lot of stuff, and they found this sport. Or some ladies like yourself at one point were athletic and they needed something to give them new energy. And this was something that gave them that.
Yes. Oh no, I definitely I think bodybuilding definitely saved me in a way. Like I after becoming like a new mom and then I didn't I mean you feel like you have a purpose, like the kids get you up every morning. You do feel like you have a purpose. But I didn't feel like I was like doing anything outside of that. And I was you as a mom, you feel like you sort of lose your identity a little bit, because you're living for your children almost when especially when they're so little. So bodybuilding became like an outlet for me and definitely, yeah, saved me mentally. Um, and that I think it's sort of become my medicine. Like the gym is my medicine every day. So
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, especially if during the pandemic, it was hard for a lot of people not being able to go to the gym because that gym was their second home, their church, their therapy. It's a place for them to go. It's
mhm.
just I used to work out a good bit. I used to go to I went to Planet Fitness, and I used to and I know it's not a bodybuilding gym, but I enjoyed doing that because when I was younger, I played football, I did sports, and then I got into life and got a job, and then I was taking my mom for a long time, and then life can weigh on you, and then you need something to help with your mindset. Doing this content for me was something helped me with my dealing with my mom and her situations. After she passed, I didn't have much anything else. I mean, I wasn't doing anything. Everybody in my family was grown. I have, brothers and sisters, and they have kids, and their kids have kids. And doing this content, talking to ladies like yourself, and hearing your stories, it gives me, a purpose, and to educate people, know that hey, these women not all these big buff monsters you think they are. These are nice ladies. She's a lovely lady. She got two kids. She got a husband. She has people that support and believe in her. This is why I do this, because share y'all voices and to let people know there's more to you than just these big muscles and all this stuff like that. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're someone who's dedicated to something, and this gives you a purpose
Mhm.
to guide you in your life.
Yeah. No, honestly, bodybuilding has enriched my life in so many ways. And fitness, I believe fitness and the discipline that you learn that comes from bodybuilding and things just translates into every other part of your life. Like I'm a better friend. I'm better at school. Because I used to like I dropped out of university when I was young, so but now like I'm better with my time management. Like it's just taught me so much about myself. So I think I just anyone that I can get into fitness, I I love the thought of helping people reach their full potential because I
Have
feel
you
like that's done that for me.
have you think about becoming a coach yourself and a trainer?
I have coached people. And we actually have my husband and I, we used to have a company called Mad Fit Personal Training. And like we did that for a while. We did online coaching and in-person coaching, but it just it was like very unreliable, like it was very seasonal. So, we couldn't really depend on it. So my husband went and got like a more like more regular job, and then I went to school and like we started doing different things. And I mean, I've thought about going back to it, but now I'm doing the massage therapy and then I'm focusing on competing myself, so it's sort of hard for me to sometimes I was kind of chasing people for their check-ins, and like be like, where's your photo? Like, why haven't you called me? Yeah, some of that was getting distracting because I was trying to focus on my own prep, but also trying to chase people to get them to do their prep. It was strange. Like I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I mean, I help people all the time, like friends and stuff, and I'll give them advice and whatever. But I don't know if I'll go back to full-time coaching
Hmm.
again.
Yeah, like I think everybody takes something out of this sport. I think some people have that mindset to be a coach. They can to popularize their lives from their clients' lives, but
Yeah.
it you when you're directly focused, especially on a prep, it can distract. I remember I talked to one lady. She had a coach, and he was competing, and then he didn't give her a plan or anything like that. She had to quit him, But then there's those coaches that understand that what, if I'm prepping, I got to make sure that everybody else around me is good, and they're good at
Yeah.
it because they can really multitask. I think it's a natural thing with women. Men, we do one thing, we say focus on that thing, we get it done. You women can do five, six things within one time.
Yeah, there were seasons where like I had amazing clients and it was fun, and like it made me more motivated because they were motivated and we were just like vibing off each other. But then there were seasons where I just had like bad client after bad client. I just like and it was draining. So, yeah, I don't know, it's funny how things happen sometimes. Like I just sort of lost the passion for it. and that now I kind of just I like helping people in like a little like not being their coach, but I like to just help people along more, and not as like they have to give me a whole bunch of money and I'm calling them every week. Like I don't know, it's more passive. I can just help them along.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes you have coaches that have that mindset of like, "Fuck you, pay me." But it's good that you and your husband, you did something and then it didn't work out, but now you moved on to something else. And he's also focused on his bodybuilding. Um, what show he's doing? Is he going to do a regional, get his national qualification, or what's his plan?
He's doing this show. He's doing the Southern California, so it's a pro am, obviously. So he's doing the amateur side. And my best friend Mindy is also competing, and her husband as well. So all four of us are competing that day. But yeah, so he'll do this one, and depending on how he does, he might do the USA's again this year. He did it last year, and he was pretty disappointed with how he did, but it was his first USA's, so we all tried to tell him like it's okay. Like I don't know.
I know you home said, "It's all right, baby. I didn't win, baby. I didn't. It's all right, baby. I'm not a man, baby. I just, that's a good thing. But it's good that he has a woman like you in his corner. Because I know he was in corner several times when you went through your times. I said, you know what, baby, I'm so close. It's all right, baby. You can always get it next time. And it's
I
good that
know
your babies
it's
are there. Like, which one of your girls feel like might be really interested in being a bodybuilder? The oldest, or the youngest?
I think the oldest, because she comes to the gym now with us, and she loves it. So yeah. But obviously the younger one isn't old enough to train with us yet. At our gym, you have to be you have to the she has to be 10. So yeah, so like we'll see. I mean, when she gets old enough, then we'll see if she has an affinity for it. But so far Katie is showing like a lot of potential. She loves it.
I think fit model be a good division for her because she's still young, and
Mm.
it'd be a great startup division for her, and even though I find it a offensive division, but I've interviewed a couple ladies who done that division, and I
Yeah,
respect
I
them as
think
it does
fit
it.
model is great for young women, because they don't have to take anything to get into that division. They don't like there's not like all that pressure. They could just like if they want to compete, they can compete and sort of like get involved. Yeah, I think it's good for young women, like especially like juniors, 17 and up. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great it's a great starting division. To me, again, I'm offended by it. Just I just it just brings out that dark side of me. Madeline, I just you know I'm just a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do when I get one. So I'm sorry about him. I try to keep him under control. He pops out every now and then. So we're not gonna hold him too much longer. I know she's a busy lady. She got men to take care, got babies to take care of,
Hmm.
and doing this sport, it's a lot for any person who gets into it. I think for women, that's why I pay attention to women more because the guys they get a lot more attention. The guys, especially particular divisions like the open men division, your husband's in men's figure, and but I think the divisions that are kind of getting that stink eye is women's physique, women's bodybuilding, figures, even getting pushed out. I mean, it's about recognizing that this is your sport. You're dedicated to it. I don't know if you know this lady. Her name is Maria Beretta. And Maria told me a
Yes.
story a while back, yeah, where we did an interview a while back. This was right before she got a pro card. And she told me how one time she was just doing some posing. So a guy walked up to her and said, I don't like that. That's fucking disgusting. And if you see Maria, I don't see, I mean, come on. This is not about you. It's about what she wants. If you don't like it, here's advice for
Mm.
you. To quote my man Bernie Mac, says, son, people don't like you, fuck them. Do what you do for you. Do
Yeah.
what inspires you. I wouldn't waste my time worrying about other people and their thoughts.
Yeah, no. Everybody else's opinion is none of your business. So it's just if someone has an opinion of you, like it doesn't matter. You're the one that has to look at yourself in the mirror. So, that's what matters. And I love being proud of myself every day. I feel accomplished every day. I love pushing myself and doing hard things every day. So yeah, it keeps me going. It sets me on fire every morning. I get up and I'm like, let's go. So I mean, that to me cannot be a negative thing. How could bodybuilding be a negative thing if that's how it's affecting me?
Yeah. And the thing is, one thing is also to support a family and friends, your husband, your kids, Wendy, everybody around you who supports you in your goals. Like, especially when it comes to the shows and they cheer for you. That's my wife up there. I'm so proud. That's my baby. And you do the same thing for him when he's on stage. But then, there's a guy say, hey, dude, your wife counted. She's a hot little, down under. Say, hey, you freak. Hey, that's my wife. That's been, like, but people don't understand again the dedication, the work, the time you put into it. We go to shows, we see these amazing bodies, but don't understand what it took to get there. Tired, dehydrated. I notice times, especially when you're on prep and your kids they don't eat what you eat. And your mom got to cook for the kids, and sometimes they're eating chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese, and you're eating dry rice and quinoa, and you're like, yeah, I want to punch you in the face, take your food, but no, you have to be very disciplined when you're doing this sport.
Yeah, I don't take a second look at chicken nuggets. You couldn't pay me to eat a chicken nugget in the off season, but somehow in prep, those chicken nuggets they smell pretty good.
I mean, with food, but a lot of bodybuilders, food, there are a lot of them foods that like it'd be like a movie called New Jack City, it'd be like Chris Rock saying, "Be calling my name, man, be calling my name." He doesn't like calling my name, but that's the thing is that's the important part about being consistent, disciplined,
Mhm.
patient, dedicated. You don't want to derail opportunities. You don't want to taste like, baby, can mama have you? Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. But that's what's important of it.
No,
We
they know. They don't even ask me anymore. They know
we
when I'm
had
in show prep. They don't. They used to. They used to be like, "Why can't you have that? Why can't you have ice cream?" But now they're like, they maybe sometimes they'll go, "Do you want to bite?" And then they go, "Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot." And then like, you know, so they get it.
Yeah, we have here from Mantone. He says this. He says he's picking on me saying, saying, he says, "Damn, bro, chill." Nah, I can't chill. I can't chill. Sometimes, again, I'm a particular type of criminal. I just love anarchy and chaos. It just makes me who I am. I'm sorry. So we're done with him. He'll I try to keep me true. I'm senior specialist, but so we're not going to hold the lovely Miss Shingo too long. Um, what would you say? I'm asking you this. What you feel like would be a thing that really, for you, that would get you to your goals? What was, especially as a bodybuilder, what would feel like the thing that really would get you at the level you feel like you want to be in the sport?
um, what would get me? Well, I said more money earlier, but I guess more, just even more time to commit to the sport, like, and get more involved with the IFBB. And I don't know, like, I love that I've chosen a career that I can choose my own schedule. So massage therapy is very flexible. So I've kind of like, I have literally designed my life around bodybuilding. I went to school for over a year so that I could get a career that fits around bodybuilding, not the other way around. So I'm putting things into play, and thinking about, long term, because I want to. I pretty much I want to do this forever, so, or as long as I can.
Yeah, and I think the money thing is important. It could help the cost of your next competition, your prep, your food, your travel expenses, your here making we can bring your own crew in. They can like we got everything done. Everything's get everything put
Oh,
together,
I
baby.
would
We got
love
you.
to have a glam squad. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but one thing I wish I could do was like sponsor. competitors. Like, and sponsorship does help. Like I said, Miss Stinkin, Miss Madeline, we will be interested in sponsoring you in your next competition. We have a product that might help you in your process, but if it's something that feel like you can use,
Hmm.
um, in your process as a bodybuilder, we would love to have you be a brand ambassador. So if you feel like our product works for you and something you feel like you can use, we'd love for you to join us. And we also want to see you grow as a bodybuilder. That was something I would love to do if I could do it, ma'am. I know it really helps out. You can don't be as stressed about, I gotta, I had one person told me like you have to steal from people to pay Paul. But when things going out, I know you're out in California, y'all gas is like high. Gas too damn high over there. I
Yes.
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
gas is killing us.
yeah. I mean, you now you got to
Yeah.
start getting your little kids uh tricycle to get to the gym.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. But anyway,
well,
we
that'd be
have to
cool.
think. Hmm?
But we could talk more about that, and like the ambassadorship and things like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, that sounds
that's
cool.
something. I mean, Will Straight was doing that for women's bodybuilding for a good while. Jake Wood, shout out to Jake Wood, and I'm a fan of Jake Wood. Yo, Jake, I want that money, I want that gun. But I wish I can do that. I live where I don't, but I know a friend of mine. She does. A friend you, she's looking to sponsor athletes. There's also other people like sponsor athletes. You have a great story, being from growing up in the Middle East, what your father has done, your past, your life. I think you have a great background. Probably, if someone interested in sponsoring an athlete like yourself, they would. I wish I could do it, but I'm broke as a joke. It's about but
But no, honestly, like I know I joke around about it, but like honestly, that's a big conversation in bodybuilding, how expensive it is. And I do would love sponsorships and things like that. But at the same time, I will find a way. It doesn't matter. I will keep doing this. We always have and we always will. We've shown up at shows with our bank account in the negative. So like I just we are just like insane, really. But I mean, we've always had food in the fridge. The kids have clothes on their back, and all our bills are paid. But we have shown up to a couple of shows with our bank account pretty low, but we've always made it work. I don't know.
well, my mom had to raise six kids, and you know what? She had to make a dollar bleed sometimes. Find a way to stretch. My mom, she knew one thing she taught us is the hustle, and that's the thing. The hustle is the way you get around. I mean, I say there's always a way around a mousetrap, and if you can make it, you can get yourself going. And then, like I said again, you have people that support your goals. And who want to
Mm,
see reach that top level in the sport. That's good. Again, this sport is, I say this, it's a sport where you put more into it than you get back out of it. And
mhm.
I wish it was like a professional sport, like you look at football, baseball, basketball, we can make a living off of. Where okay, I just gotta just go to shows, get paid, and then that's it. But again, because
Yeah.
of it's more close to a hobby than it is actual sport, that's the big problem. And just gotta find people, like one thing you have to have a social media presence, you have to be active on that, and also have to find something that you're comfortable with, promoting. Because sometimes not all money is good money.
I know. I am on TikTok, by the way. I don't know if you've seen my TikTok, but yeah. So like I am trying to build up that kind of president presence, and it's definitely a slow process with all of that. For me, I mean, I love this sport and it is my full passion and everything. But my sort of my ultimate goal is to kind of get more involved like Wendy. Like, I mean, I use her as an example for everything pretty much because she is my mentor, and she is like she's who I look up to mostly in this sport. So she's just built such an incredible career, like in general. Like even if she retired today, she's still so successful, and now she gets to do things that she loves. Like she gets to travel the world, talk about bodybuilding, talk to people in the industry and stuff like that. So I would love to do something like that where, like obviously it's going to take some time. She's like 15 years ahead of me, but yeah, I think it can give you a lot of opportunities. Um, like you said, we put a lot more into this sport than we get out of sometimes. But I still, call me crazy, but I still see it as an investment.
It's investment of who you want to be in the sport,
Mm,
who you want to, what you want to do. Again, Whitney's doing pretty good. She's working with the Olympia. She's her
yeah.
one lady who I follow, a fan of, Linda Murray. They do their Film Flex Friday. Maybe next time get be a guest on there if she lets you be.
And
There's
she's in Paris right now with this doing. She's talking at an expo called Shield. So maybe look into that. It's like this big women's expo thing. So I don't know too much about it, but yeah, like she's literally traveling the world. So pretty cool. I want that job.
yeah. And one thing is, she has the bone. She don't have no kids, so
They would come with me. It's
that's
okay.
great. They get to travel the world. That's why I think children need to get education. Just not
What
confined
if
to
they
just what.
need school for anyway? So
Yeah.
they
Well,
just come with me.
you gotta, most things you gotta have a diploma. They say you can't even nowadays you can't even sweep
I know.
a hallway without a college diploma. I went to school a couple of times, but I grew up a country boy. We did a lot of farming and stuff like that. But then, it's good to have education. Just to have that there, but also experience does help.
Yeah.
So, folks, we going to thank the lovely Mrs. Stanek for taking time out and talking with us. Shout out to her. As you know, she's going to be doing what's the show again? So, for people who want to check it out,
The Xana Rotar Figure Pro. It's the same day. It's June 6th. Same day as the Southern California in San Diego. So
she says also that same weekend is also the Toronto Super Show. And that is, as you know, I support any show to support women's bodybuilding. I want to give a shout out to those competitors who will compete that weekend. I will talk about the show because, as my channel, I do want to give you ladies like yourself opportunity to share your stories, and support it. I may not watch it, but I will support, because I will do like you go check my IG. I just posted a video for ladies competing in Pittsburgh this weekend, and I do
mhm.
that every so often. And some ladies really appreciate it because you know what, it's only a few people that bring attention, like myself, my man David over the Female Bodybuilding Forum, also the guys on the Female Bodybuilding Channel, and also Claudio Hardcore Fitness. Shout out my man KL the Wonder also does content. He's more a fan of women muscle not as much as the sport. But we want to give y'all ladies a chance to share your voice, to let people know who you are, what gets you here, what's your dedication, and also what guides you and what drives you in a sport that's very considered very masculine. But you know what? You can find something feminine about it, and you are very feminine.
I mean, yeah, and I don't look masculine next to my husband, so it depends on who you stand next to. So, and I
Well,
mean, I don't really want to be affiliated with someone that I look more masculine. I don't know. So like
I, again,
that's
man,
what I laugh about mostly when people go, "Oh, you're so masculine." It's like maybe next to you.
tell them to get your weight up, get in the gym,
Yeah,
work out. Get some hair in your chest. If you feel this guy, if you feel this woman like here, this is a lovely lady, makes you feel that masculine. That's a problem with you, not with
yeah, that's a
her.
you
It's with you.
problem.
It's a you problem, not me. You. So get your man, just get your head right. So,
Yeah,
folks, I
thank you
want
so
to
much for putting women's bodybuilding into the light more and giving us a place to share our stories and things. I really appreciate it.
Well, again, man, from one of my favorite movies, Batman Begins, he says this: "You never have to, because you know what? I appreciate the opportunity to have you on, and any person, even if it is fit model, I appreciate any opportunity to have you ladies